Good morning, ma'am. I'm Rinalyn Tubiano and we are the Group 4. The company we chose is the Coca-Cola Company. The Coca-Cola Company boasts a rich and passionate history spanning over 135 years and brief timeline of a key milestone of the Coca-Cola Company in 1966, birth of Coca-Cola, Dr. John Pemberton Comstock, an economic syrup at Atlanta. Post-war boom and diversification in 1940s to 1960s, Coca-Cola Company capitalized on post-war prosperity and establishes itself to global brand and introduced Sprite and Atlanta. In 1960s, the first Coca-Cola building plant in Mindanao is established in Villanueva, Misamis Oriental, just outside CDO. This plant played a crucial role in ensuring steady supply of Coca-Cola produced throughout the region. In 1970s, Coca-Cola becomes a familiar sight at local celebration and community events, sponsoring fiestas and supporting local sports team.
Balance sheet. Revenue in 2022 increase of 6.90% because due to the factors such as increased sales volume, higher selling price or expansion. Cost of goods sold in 2022 increase of 5.30% because mainly attributed to a higher production cost, increased raw materials, or change in the cost structure of the company products. Gross profit in 2022 increase of 8.10% because despite the increase of the cost goods sold, the gross profit increased due to the higher percentage increase in revenue compared to the increase in the cost goods sold. Operating expenses in 2022 increase of 7.90% because due to the factors such as a higher wage, increased marketing expenses. Operating income in 2022 increase of 11.60% because a higher percentage due to the relatively lower percentage increase in operating expenses compared to the increase in gross profits. Non-operating income in 2022 decrease of 24.50% possibly due to the lower investment returns, reduced gains on asset sales. Earnings before tax in 2022 increase of 28.10% because despite the decrease in non-operating income, the earnings before tax increased significantly due to the overall positive impact of increased revenue, gross profit, and operating income. Provision for income in 2022 increase of 22% because due to the higher taxable income resulting from the company's improved financial performance. Net income in 2022 increase of 30.50% because a higher percentage due to the overall positive impact of increased earnings before tax and a lower percentage increase in tax expenses. Earnings per share in 2022 increase of 31.70% because earnings per share increased by a higher percentage due to the increase in net income and possibly decrease in the number of outstanding shares, resulting in a higher earnings allocated to each share.
Good evening everyone, I am Carmela Imalasan and now I will be discussing about income statement. So to know the change in amount, you need to know the formula first. So the formula here is current year minus in previous year equals and you need to divide it in the previous year and times it in 100%. So as you can see in the revenue in 2022, which is the 48,204 minus in 2021, which is the previous year 45,098 equals 3,106. Then divide 45,098 and the change in amount in the revenue has 6.90%. So it was all the same as cost of goods sold. So current year in 2022 has 20,179 minus in previous year 2021 19,172 equals, and then you need to divide it in the previous year, which is 19,172, and the cost of goods sold in change in amount has 5.30%. So same as the gross profit in 2022, which is the current year, has 28,025 minus in the previous year in 2021 has 25,962 equals, and you need to divide it in previous year, which is the 25,962, and the change in amount in the gross profit has 8.10%. So it was all the same lang ang process nila na.
Financial ratio, gross profit margin. Formula, gross profit margin divided revenue times 100%. Important or usage, this ratio measure the percentage of revenue that remains after accounting of the cost of goods sold. Solution and answer 2021, 25,126 divided 45,098 pesos equals times 100 equals 57.50%. Interpretation, Coca-Cola's gross profit margin increased slightly from 2021 to 2022, indicating that the company was able to generate more profit from each dollar of revenue. Financial ratio, operating profit margin, formula, operating income revenue times 100%. Important of usage, this ratio measures the percentage of revenue. Solution and answer, 1.511 divided 45,098 times 100% equals 3.35%. Interpretation, Coca-Cola's operating profit margin also increased. Financial ratio, gross profit margin, formula, gross profit divided revenue times 100%. Importance or usage, this ratio measures the percentage of revenue that remains after accounting for the cost of goods. Kaning second slide, ma'am. Pareha ra ni situation pag solve tong akong gi-report.
Coca-Cola financial performance in the 2022 was mixed. The company revenue and probability growth is unadequate levels in a concern. It is important to continue to monitor Coca-Cola's financial performance in the coming years to see how this trend develops.
Coca-Cola appears to be in a good financial position based on the information provided in the income statement. The company has a healthy gross profit margin, a positive net income margin, and a moderate debt-to-equity ratio. However, the current ratio is silently below ideal. This suggesting that the company may need to be careful about managing its short-term debt.
So this is our conclusions. The Coca-Cola Company remains a leading force in the global beverage industry, boasting a rich history, iconic brand, and diverse portfolio. However, the company faced challenges in the rapidly evolving landscape and with shifting consumer preference, increased competitions, and growing concern about sustainability and health. And for our recommendations, first is expand beyond sugary drinks offering, and then the second is healthier options like natural fruit infused like water, tears, and low calories alternative. Invest in research and development to create new products and cater to evolving consumers preference and dietary needs, and then implement measures to reduce water usage, plastic waste, and carbon footprint. Then explore renewable energy source and sustainable packaging solutions, leverage social media platforms and targeted advertising to engage younger generations, and strengthen brand loyalty.